1891 business class trucks from Freightliner Corporation are a milestone in medium truck design. Many of the required service procedures, like those for the vehicle's heater air conditioning system, are likely to be new to you. All Freightliner medium trucks come standard with a bare climate control unit, which can be spec'd in one of three configurations: a standard heater-only unit, an optional heater unit which is upgradable to a heater AC combo, or an optional integrated heater AC combination. The bare heater air conditioner is a single unit consisting of a heater core, evaporator coil, blower motor, controls, and common ductwork. By controlling the coolant flow through the heater core, and by controlling the airflow through the heater core and the AC evaporator coil, a desired cab temperature is maintained. We'll examine each of the system's components and discuss how they function within the overall system, as well as how to operate them and how to perform any required service tasks. The heater AC panel controls and their functions are identical in the FL 60, 70, and 80 trucks and in the MB 60, 70, and 80 vehicles. The 3-speed fan forces fresh or recirculated air to selected air outlets. If the unit is equipped with air conditioning, an on-off control lever under the fan switch turns the AC system on and off. The fan switch must be on for the air conditioner to operate. The air selection switch directs air to either the face and feet, to feet and windshield, or to the windshield alone for defrosting. Each of these settings is cable controlled. If equipped with air conditioning, the air selection switch directs air to either the face, to face and feet, to feet and windshield, or to the windshield. In the defrost mode, the AC system comes on automatically to dehumidify the air. An air source lever under the air selection switch is used to control the mixture of recirculated cab air with fresh air. The temperature control switch allows selection of the desired temperature of the airflow, counterclockwise for cool air, clockwise for warm air. All the dash face outlets have adjustable louvers that pivot right or left and up and down. Close an outlet by moving the lever all the way up. Open an outlet by moving the lever all the way down. Dash door window vents are opened and closed by moving their lever side to side. Windshield defrost outlets can be moved to direct airflow, but the door window defrost outlets have non-adjustable louvers. Before removing the heater AC control panel for replacement of the panel or other repairs, disconnect the vehicle's batteries. Remove the extruded rubber strip at the top of the dashboard, and then remove the dash panel at the far right on the passenger side. After removing the parking brake knob on those vehicles with air brakes, and if so equipped, the trailer air supply knob, remove the small dash panel to the left of the heater AC controls. Now open the dash panel which surrounds the heater AC controls. Begin removing the control panel by gently prying the bezel away from the panel. Remove the panel light and disconnect the electrical connectors, labeling each of them so they can be installed in the same positions later. Label the cables for later reference. Disconnect the control cables. Remove the control panel from the dash panel. To install the new control panel, first mount it to the dash panel. Attach, install, and adjust the cables. Insert the panel light and connect the wiring. Reinstall the bezel around the control panel. Close the center dash panel that contains the control panel. Then reinstall the dash panel to either side of it. Finally, reconnect the vehicle's batteries. To adjust the cables, it's not necessary to disconnect the cables from the control panel. To adjust the cable to the water regulating valve, set the temperature control switch to the coolest setting and open the hood for access to the valve. Adjust the turnbuckle until the valve is at its mechanical stop in the closed position. To adjust the fresh air recirculation door cable, remove the kick panel under the dashboard on the passenger side for access to the door. Move the air selection switch to the fresh air position. Adjust the turnbuckle under the dashboard until the door snaps into the horizontal position and closes off the opening to the cab. Move the lever to the recirculating position and make sure the door snaps open. If necessary, readjust the turnbuckle so the door is in the correct position for each control lever setting. To adjust the face duct door and floor duct door cables, set the control knob in the 12 o'clock position. Both ducts should be open. Turn the control knob fully clockwise. The face duct door should be closed. Adjust the turnbuckle on the face duct door if necessary. Turn the control knob fully counterclockwise. The floor duct doors should close. Adjust the turnbuckle on the floor duct door cable if necessary. Make sure there is a smooth transition from one cable to the other as the control knob moves through the 12 o'clock position. The face duct door cable should move when the control is to the right. The floor duct door cable should move when the control is to the left. As the control knob passes through 12 o'clock, one cable should stop moving and the other should start. Incorrect cable adjustment will cause either the control knob to lock up before reaching 12 o'clock or the control knob movement will be very stiff. The heater AC unit is mounted in the cab under the center dash panel. Fresh air enters the system through the fresh air inlet plenum, located on the right side of the cowl top. An evacuator valve at the bottom of the plenum expels most moisture from the air before it can enter the system. As air enters the system, it's pushed by a single blower motor through the heater core and AC evaporator coil. Excess moisture that may enter the blower housing from the inlet plenum accumulates at the bottom of the housing and drains into a hose, then out through the cab deck. To remove the heater core, first set the temperature control on the dash to its warmest setting and drain the cooling system coolant. Then remove the dash access covers and dash top to gain access to the heater AC unit. Remove the ducting to gain access to the heater core AC evaporator coil housing cover. Remove the cover. Loosen the hose clamps and disconnect the heater core inlet and outlet hoses. Note that the heater core features brazed copper lines that go through the firewall. Pull the heater core out of the housing. When removing the AC evaporator coil, begin by discharging the refrigerant system. Disconnect the refrigerant lines from the expansion valve and immediately plug the ports. Note that the coil features brazed copper lines that go through the firewall. At the expansion valve, the inlet line fitting is 5/8 of an inch with number 8 line. The outlet fitting is 3/4 of an inch with number 10 line. Remove the heater core as previously described. Remove the thermostatic switch before removing the AC evaporator coil. The thermostatic switch can be replaced after disconnecting the wiring, removing the 2 screws which attach the switch to the housing, removing the floor transition ducting, and then removing the sensor tube. When reinstalling the thermostatic switch, the sensor tube must be carefully inserted into the coil fins at least as far as it was before removal. If it's not inserted far enough, the thermostatic switch won't receive accurate temperature readings from the coil. To remove the resistor block, disconnect the harness, remove the screws, and lift the block out. The heater AC unit features a single blower motor, which draws 21 amps and is rated at 10,000 hours. It's easily accessible after the motor wires are disconnected and the housing cover is removed. The motor lifts out of the housing after removal of the 3 nuts holding the motor to the unit. If system pressure is too low, 26 to 31 psi, the binary switch opens to disengage the compressor. If pressure in the system builds too high, 356 to 413 psi, the switch again opens, disengaging the compressor. The binary switch is installed on a Schrader valve. This permits easy replacement of the switch without having to discharge the refrigerant from the system. A self-sealing high-pressure relief valve is located on the housing of the AC compressor. Note, the crankcase of the 2-piston compressor is pressurized, so the refrigerant charge must be dropped before checking the oil level. The receiver dryer features a male fitting going in and a female fitting coming out. This design is intended to make it more difficult for the unit to be plumbed backwards. This completes our brief introduction to the service features of the heater AC systems installed in the 1991 business class trucks from Freightliner Corporation. For a comprehensive explanation of troubleshooting and all service procedures, refer to the medium truck service and medium truck maintenance manuals.